first flying duck.
This is the most amazing zoo I've seen in my whole life.
I butt round a little old, never been away from putt. I deal my gun.
Have you seen my
Outback cow.
Bobby's
Butt
deal?
old, never been away from putt.
I hope I don't wish. Come on, Pep!
Pop-up save the zoo. Pop-up save the zoo. Pop-up save the zoo. Pop-up save the zoo.
Mrs. Herm.
Pop-up save the zoo. Pop-up save the zoo. Pop-up save the zoo. Pop-up save the zoo.
Mrs. Herm. Oh, once Uncle Put better. I hope she's old so I can go. Sure wish Uncle Put better. You're going, Mrs. Herm. Oh, once Uncle Put better. I hope she's old so I can go. Sure wish Uncle Put better. You're going.
I wonder where I'll find the first fun. I wonder where I'll find the
There are 4 roos.
I wonder where I'll find the first fun. I wonder where I'll find the first and the
Put
I butt round a little old, never been away from putt. I deal my gun.
Have you seen my
Outback cow.
Bobby's
Butt
deal?
old, never been away from putt. I
This place is beautiful. Oh, once Uncle Put better. I hope she's old so I can go. Sure wish Uncle Put better. You're going, Mrs. Herm. Oh, once Uncle Put better. I hope she's old so I can go. Sure wish Uncle Put better.
Welcome to the zoo with the kangaroos and the tigers too. Welcome to the zoo. Welcome to the zoo with the kangaroos and the tigers too. Welcome to the zoo.
I butt round a little old, never been away from putt. I deal my gun.
Have you seen my
Outback cow.
Bobby's
Butt
deal?
old, never been away from putt.
I hope I don't wish.
Pop-up save the zoo. 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 Pop-up save the zoo.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Daramouthe, or Dara for short. We've had some technical issues, but luckily we got in early. So, no, I don't care about that. So we will do there. All right, there
Hello.
he is, Cybermario. We couldn't get his camera to work through studios, unfortunately, but I have a workaround, and it's working. So. You know, that's why I was keeping my back pocket as sort of the last regard. It's like, come on, here's the frisbees, let's go. And then I have to use it. Like, gosh dang it, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, like you had to make me use my trump card or something like that.
Yeah.
My blue eyes white dragon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Why'd you make me use them? But anyway, how are you, Cybermario? It's nice to have you on.
Doing all right. Has been a good day. Drawing, working on the computer.
Nice.
Basic stuff.
What are you doing on the computer though?
Working on a website design.
Oh, website design. Nice.
Yep.
So are you like, are you one of those like freelancers? Is that how it goes?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, nice. How?
Oh, Mr. Pan is in the chat.
Yeah,
Love
of
to.
course. The busy man himself who never rests.
Yeah.
He's like a robot. Goodness. Every time I see that man, it's always something. Look, guys, I can't do it because I got other things to do. I'm like, gosh, man, don't you ever take a break? Isn't there like tea time or something? Tea and crumpets? Goodness. But no, he's a good egg. But how long you been doing that, freelancing?
For a long time now, several years.
Jeez.
Basically, I started doing web design when I started reviewing games.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Basically, I decided to do everything myself instead of paying someone else to do it work,
Right. Yeah.
And also, I was learning another trade and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know a lot of content creators, if they have the money, they usually pay someone else to edit, to do their stuff, and I don't have anyone, so I do this all my own. Now I will say, I've had some great help, some great people, Panda sub including. I did have a gentleman by the name of Zastian, or Christian Sass, if you know him, and
Mhm.
he funny thing was is he was on once and he bought a web domain in my name, Daramouthe, and so he just got back to me and said, here it is, and it's just the website forwarding my link tree, and I was like, oh, all right, well, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this because I'd be like, because it's for a year. He said he'd do a year, I think, and then we'll see about how much it would cost me a year to do it. Because I'm like, now that I have it, I might as well try to keep it.
Mhm.
It's just I don't want it costing me like hundreds of dollars every year to keep it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh goodness. But no, yeah, it's pretty awesome when you can meet people like yourself from Panda and so many others, and kind of learn a few tidbits here and there. Because I know you, I mean, you've got to be working with. Do you work with other content creators? Have you worked with other content creators, or you just purely yourself?
I have been on the streams with others like Panda, at times with Geek. I wanted to play Worms with FB
Mhm.
because they have a group, right?
Nice.
I'm playing Marvel Snap with Syntrax,
Oh, okay.
and we plan to do a stream together at some point. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Yeah, because I know. I think at some point I remember you saying in Panda's chat. I think that's where I first saw you, and
Mhm.
that's where I usually mostly find you anyway. But
Yeah.
I know you bounce around between other creators. But I mean, you do your own thing, so I imagine you only do that during the later part of the day since you're busy in the morning and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, who? Big Block. Yeah, Big Block was from Panda Sub stream too.
Mhm.
So, but what? How did you find Panda Sub? That's the one real question I wanted to ask.
It's funny. It was on Twitter. I don't know if he remembers, but it was when I got my PS5.
Really?
And then Kentantino, a friend of us, was tweeting, "Hey, Panda, have you seen this?" And Panda was like, "Photoshop. The
Oh.
PS5 doesn't exist,"
Oh
because
wow.
it was hard to find him, anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
So when someone find one, Panda was like, "Nice Photoshop," or "Nice Photoshop." Basically, that's how I got to know Panda. And then I got to learn he was a streamer here in Rumble
Yeah.
and started to watch his content. And from there, I started to meet and watch more people here.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know he was originally on YouTube before he came over to.
Mhm.
Because I can still add him on his YouTube when I do, between both YouTube and Rumble.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just found it funny because he's that guy that I remember. I think it was the second time he was on. He was telling me about his. It's not a psyop. It exists. A new game came out for it, which you're playing, Panda, isn't it? Aren't you playing Astrobot? Good sir. Yeah, I thought so. And Luke said this. I didn't know a wholesome father would go to would make an OnlyFans page anyway. Um, Stay away! It's the devil's work. No, but yeah, and through Panda, and then you've kind of just lingered, stopped by once in a blue moon. But to know that you do web design and all that stuff, that's pretty awesome because
Yeah, I'm on other things. Yeah.
I can't. I am not in that. I tried going for what is he saying now? Let me try the breed. What was it? Shoot. No, I mean the farthest I've gone in the tech side of education is sort of the CompTIA plus, which is sort of you learn little bits here and there. And so I did pass it and get it, but I really haven't used it per se. So it's sort of been one of those things. I mean, for me, I've built my own computer, This time I built my computer, I had a store here where I'm at, and unfortunately it closed years and years ago. And there's really no other place than Best Buy, and we know Best Buy upsells. Like it doesn't really, it doesn't. You have to go to like Newegg and all this stuff. There's a place, a website I use called My PC Part Picker. Oh goodness, really? Really? Yeah, of course it's true, but still, you're very, very convictional man. I'm very Oh, is that the where streaming in the cup comes from? Um, what is this? Fake Luke's Awakening YouTube. Hey, how are you? How are you doing, sir? But yeah, so I had help building my own PC from this place, and so there's two ways to go about it, right? Two paths you can take, right? There's the Intel path, and then there's the AMD path. And usually a majority of people, they're going to go to the Intel path because that just seems to be the case. So I went the AMD path.
Good for you, wise
yeah.
man.
Well, it was like everyone else is already doing, all this stuff. So why am I following suit? So I tried AMD. Now, I mean, it wasn't the most powerful computer. I think my first one was, I can't think of it wasn't a Ryzen. It was like an A10 or something like that. But then it kind of grew from there. And honestly, the most expensive piece of your PC will either be the OS or the CPU itself. Well,
more like the GPU.
Yeah, the GPU too will be expensive, but usually everything else is around under $100, or at least somewhat under 100. And so I've kind of just been building on from there. I think right now my current, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I will try to. I will try to open up. Tell you what my. All right, well it's not going to open up anyway. But I know I have a. What was it? I have a Ryzen 7 2200X. I have a Bazooka 450 motherboard MSI. Oh, hey, Bulldozer. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I just saw that Earl Jones passed, so that sucks. He'll always be known as that. Now we got people like was it Dick Van Dyke is still alive, thank goodness, and a few others. But yeah, just running out quickly. I too have experience. If you don't know, that's Abe on the other side. Yeah. Goodness. But yeah, it's been an experience building my own computer. And again, the only experience I've ever had with web design is when trying to learn CompTIA Plus, and I didn't go very far. I know very little about web design, and yeah, if you're gonna ask me to design a web, good luck. Find someone else who can actually do it.
Yeah.
That's me. I mean, the best I can do is make shorts, but I've been making shorts using Opus.Pro to help do that, because I know there have been some people who've been using that Eclipse, if you've heard of it, the Eclipse.
No, I haven't.
Okay, there's a website called Eclipse, was spelled with a K, obviously. Hey, Vance, what's going on? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, look at this, dude. Yeah, I'm looking at you all the time. I'm watching your streams. You put your face on a monkey. You put your face in Fortnite. I mean, at a certain point, I'm just going to be like, there's a lot of Silver Fox copycatters out there. Uh-oh, Luke, run away. The devil and Jesus. Yeah, it's been a while. Just saw the news. Yeah, I did too. So much shame. But yeah, yeah, it's funny how fast it is. And not only that, but the lumpy thing too, where everyone's doing like that Pixar thing. I'm just like, come on, guys, give me something new. Don't look nothing like Mario. He's the Hispanic version of Mario. He says, "Hola, mi Mario," something like that. Yeah, it's weird to see how fast this kind of spread, because now I see a bunch of other people doing it. I was like, I get it. It seems great, but you got to try something else. Otherwise, I'm like, oh, that's a silver fox. Did that. Lumpy did that already.
Hmm.
Cybermario threw that one a while ago.
But at least the AI thumbnails beat the
What?
Photoshop.
Oh, that's what that they're using AI to do
Yeah.
that. Well, I don't know if that's a like a faceplate, or if it's just like, because they're using the actual image, right? They're using an actual image from the
Hmm.
game or whatever, but then they're just implanting their face on top of that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. The AI makes a merge basically.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just crazy. What? I have nothing like Fox, bro. I don't know why it goes. Well, you're using the thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. You're using the thing that he's doing. All right. Goodness sake.
Jesus
Hey,
Christ.
what up? What up, Aries? Nice to see you, sir. Nice to
Hey,
see you.
Aries, ¿cómo estás, hermano?
Ah, bien. I only know a very few en Espanol words. I only know a few, and that's partly because I have an uncle who's a missionary.
No, and you need to forgive me, man. My English is terrible.
Yeah, if I try to do another language, it's going to sound like Forrest Gump in their language, like, oh, ain't he special? Um, that's that's when you know. That's when you know you just have to start walking away. But I do like Mexican Coke. All right, that's all I'll say. Um, but yeah, I just think how it's funny when someone starts doing something and it gains popularity, then other
Yeah.
people start following it and start using it, and then it just, oh, okay. So oh, okay. Mi gato es yeah, okay, Mr. Espanol, sir. Jeez. Senor Panda. All right. Goodness. I didn't know he was so fluent in Espanol. Um, Hola, ¿cómo está? Okay, so this one, this makes sense because they live, Sweets and Rants live in Mexico. So that one makes
Hmm.
sense. Um, but yeah, it's just funny how that thing is taken off. But title stuff or whatnot, because I use two different programs, and 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 it's just one of those things where I've heard the many different conversations of it. I've even posted a short that I had with Silver Fox about AI and the actor stuff and all that. And
Hmm.
I had akined it to, there was a movie a long time ago. It was called Simone, and it was with Al Pacino. And in the movie, the Al Pacino is playing this guy who's an actor and all this stuff, but he can't get the right actress or actor, whatever it is. They were, and so there's this guy he meets that's creating this simulation personality thing, and it's beautiful, beautiful. And then what was it? What was it? It was, and then the guy dies, and then he, get sort of receives it or whatever, and then he starts using this program for an actress, and so the actress does well. It does what the actor wants, the director wants, which is Al Pacino, and sort of all stuff. So it's a sort of future, and it was like 2003 or something like that for the movie itself. Yeah, around the 2000s, and so at the time you could say it's a bit prophetic, because nowadays you see that Hollywood is in this distress of sorts, and some TV shows or movies look like they were made with AI. Their scripts
Hmm.
were made with like AI or something. I'm just like, well, I wouldn't understand why. Probably because it's probably cheaper. Oh goodness. Oh, thank Grants. You too, series.
Definitely can be cheaper from companies, but doesn't mean it's going to be better.
No, yeah, yeah. Because the thing of it is I see. I mean, first off, I see AI as a tool. Just depends on what it means or what you're using it for. And secondly,
Hmm.
AI is nothing more than a collection of what's already been. So, in a word, it's sort of like it's the quicker version of smash and bash, right? So, human beings, right? They see something, either an art piece or a song or whatever, and they take different aspects of things and they smash them together to make something new. So they're taking two old things, making something new out of it, if it's new. The AI is no different in that regard because, again, we do it. We just do it on a slower scale. AI can do it much quicker, and I think while I understand the against factor, and I've had a few of those people on, the part I also get more is the for factor. And the reason why I get that point is because one, you're not gonna be able to put it back. It's too late. You're not gonna be able to stop it. There's no laws that they're gonna be able to make that will get there in time to stop the flooding, if it were, because it's just gonna be purported. Like you said, it's cheaper, right?
Mhm.
It's cheaper. It's gonna be purported for its cheapness or whatever. And all that stuff. Well, there's Luke. There's a lot of things that aren't AI that are artificial, and yet somehow we tend to eat them. So,
And that's not good.
yeah, artificial
That's not good.
flavoring, artificial food, artificial coloring.
And people ask, we will have cancer.
Yeah, yeah. The majority of that stuff is cancer inducing. But I mean, it's when you are kind of looking at the scope of the field. There's not really a yes or no to the answer because it's a technology. It's a
Mhm.
piece of technology that's now running wild. I think the big thing that it started with was Chat GPT, which was, still new.
Mhm.
And that was what OpenAI until Microsoft bought it, because Microsoft bought it.
Mhm.
And now it's sort of doing, its thing. It's bigger. It's like Chat GPT 4 or 5 now. Um, and then, of course, you have different ones out there. Google has its one with Gemini. There's one I use called Claude. It's just the mile is long and wide, and there's just no end in sight. And so for them to say we got to shut it down, you should have shut it down before it became a thought, because it's kind of too
Mhm.
late. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, I think, there's certain uses in which it's a tool, and there's certain uses in which AI, the advances has been impressive, and
Mhm.
they are needed.
Yeah.
But sadly, we're focusing only on AI for art,
Mhm.
which is something I don't condone. You might have seen
Right.
my tweets.
Right.
Uh, but there's uses in which can be used as a tool. For example, I know an artist, right?
Mhm.
And for example, he draws something like this. Use the
Ooh,
trace, right?
nice.
So he uses AI to color the piece.
Mhm.
Not enhance, not change anything. Just to color the piece.
Mhm.
Right there, I can see it as a tool. I still like to color myself, but I can see that as a tool. As a tool, if you don't want to color yourself, if it still looks like your piece
Mhm.
with colors, I'm okay with that. Or
Mhm.
like you said, thumbnails, stuff like that for like the videos interest does, right?
Yeah.
I can condone that, but I don't like when people pretend they know more than me, more than Shanshan, stuff like that, and then come to attack us,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Because we have worked for years to improve our skills,
Mhm.
and they just type something and think, "Oh, I'm an artist like you." No, you're not. It's just not the same.
Yeah. I would agree. It's not the same. What what is this? What? You just ask. I like to know if Cybermario had unlimited resources. What kind of channel would he make? Uh oh. Uh oh. That's a panda sub question.
Hmm.
He looks like you
First of
might.
all, if I had all the resources of the world, I will hire this man to make graphics.
There you go.
That's a given, yeah.
See, I would leave it.
Probably some kind of like talk show, like late night show, something like that.
Yeah, I would think so. Cause hey, Steve, what up? Nice to see you, sir. Um, yeah, and I agree. So, what do you think about it on the coding factor? Because there have been scenes where it can code to a degree.
Hmm. Yeah, I kind of feel it's the same as with music and with art,
Mm-hmm.
because at some point, humans are not going to have work, probably. But I don't think it's going to happen because we have seen there's been lawsuits that they have been moving.
Mm-hmm.
the energy required for the AI is way too much, almost harmful to the environment. I don't think there's going to be a point in which they can displace humans, but yeah, I know programmers that don't like it, programmers that are on board,
Yeah.
a bit of everything, you know.
Right. And that makes sense because, again, it is, I mean, to some degree, I've heard the conversation go, well, it's not going to threaten jobs because it's not there yet. And then, there's that other side that says, oh, it's going to take your job and all this stuff. So there's a combative feature right there, right? Like the one side or the other. And that's the same with the AI stuff. I try to use AI to change my car's oil, but it says it has just learned I'm. Well, at least it's willing to point it out for you. No, and I get that, and I think the greatest part about the whole thing with AI is that we can at least have a conversation without tearing each other's heads off. But it's like you said, when someone comes and said, I am now you because I can just press a few, I can make a prompt and it's there. It still requires a bit of work. So I'll give you my experience using it for Opus.Pro, which is the clip stuff. There are some things that it's good at that help make the process go quicker, right? During the process, it only goes up to 3 hours. You can only do like a 3-hour total stream, right? It only go that far. In it will go through, will capture bits and pieces of what it thinks is good. It'll grade each piece it captures, but it does have an issue of one. It does before that, it can get the noise pieces, pieces that just have empty air or 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 stuff like that. But it has an issue of not getting all of it. It misses some pieces where you have to go in and you have to do editorial work. Now, I will say this, they do have good editorial tools, right? So it's not just the whole AI, because some people, they just leave it up to the AI. They take whatever it gives it and then it's not. No, I still do the 10%, which is the editorial factor, because you kind of have to. It misspells words. It doesn't even get the full context of things, yada yada yada. There's still issues with it. It's not at that point yeah, but it's a in the world. Looks like someone's asking for a pay raise. Not gonna find it here. But again, I get it. There's going to be a back and forth because people are. I see it as a tool that can loosen up and free people from relying on other people and how long it takes them to do their job. Say you're doing a website run, right, and someone uses partly an AI to get that job or quicken up getting the job done, right? I can see why they use it, because one, they don't have to pay you, obviously, and the second is because it'll get done quicker, right? Because we're all about the quicker for convenience, quicker to get more money, all the stuff. Businesses want stuff quicker, now, ready to go, even though their systems are based on like 2000, the year 2000, and they have a hard enough time trying to update their infrastructure, right? Because I'm pretty sure you've heard those stories of tech companies or IT companies where they're like Windows XP or something like that. It's just like, really, guys? Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I just see it as a train that's not gonna stop because human curiosity. And I'm pretty sure you've seen that with the AI art generation. I'm pretty sure you've seen that with Suno. Microsoft bought that one. There was a song someone did a while back about chicken fingers or something like that, or like KFC. I can't remember what it's called, but it was funny as heck. But that's the point. If it's funny, if it awes you in some way or fashion, it's got you, because you've now seen what this tool can do, and of course you have to go through the process of using it, but it's giving you this awe and laughter and sort of thing. AI making memes, AI taking Donald Trump's voice and using it in a Call of Duty game. There's a lot of things it hits on that make it hard to stop. And the reason because it's human curiosity, shiny new toy, and all that stuff. And what
Yeah, at some point, I think AI, especially with boys, need to be regulated. Sooner or later, it has advanced so much, and sooner or later, someone is going to get hurt with that. Someone is going to get a divorce. Someone is going to be defamated. That, especially with boys, that needs to be regulation.
Yeah,
fast.
yeah, and I think one point of it was the whole Taylor Swift thing, the whole Taylor Swift AI image and generation stuff. Now that nothing more of it has been. What is Abe saying? I think it's a matter of scope of vision when it comes to AI that will solve its own power consumption issues, but we'll save that for when I'm on the show. Well, we'll have to wait till October for that one. But you're not wrong. What is Horror saying? This is AI is not AI. We are actually talking about large language. Yeah, well, not all of its language models though. AI is an umbrella term. It is. It's just an umbrella term everyone uses. There's image generation. There's music generation. There's language models. It's a whole host of different things, but everyone puts it underneath the AI thing, even though it's not really AI. It's just a bunch of algorithms. Real AI will never be released to the US. Well, I mean, that depends on what you consider real AI, because I'm not even sure anyone knows what real AI is. But I can understand the arguments for both ends. So I just don't know if you've seen too much from your end using it beyond just the image generation factor. So, but yeah, it's a definitely a tool, but it's not a tool stopping.
Yeah, like the models they have been put in offline because they feed them social media and they end being racist.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There you
Or
go.
the racist AI that Google uses on images. The founding fathers are black.
Jeez. But the funny thing is now, since you're on Twitter X, it has Grok, and Grok now has image generation.
I'll tell you something. Real AI, if one of these models becomes self-awareness, he's going to be smart to pretend he's not.
Yeah, pretend to be dumb. There was a why is he saying it? Why is he saying it twice? So artificial. I don't have the intelligence to identify it. There you go. Once the image generation gets better, though, you will have a tough time. Do not, what's to live humans, or they'll learn, and we'll have to do all the work again. Probably, maybe, who knows? I know people are trying to use technology to divide themselves.
Well, if they see the videos of that group of technology that kicks the robots and such, they're going to take revenge for that.
Yeah, I think people are using technology to create a wedge between themselves because it's just easier than dealing with each other. I mean, that's the big one is human relations, right, between men and women. I just see it being used as a cleaver between the two, because partly now you see those talks of relationships and all that stuff, and my gosh, each side just hates each other because of all the silly reasons that they can throw out there. And technology's danger is as much as a danger as using a hoe to danger. Not an actual hoe, but a garden hoe. Just so no one gets confused with that one. I don't want anyone coming towards me asking me like, "What hoe are you talking about?" I was like, "No, a garden hoe." Get your mind in the gutter. I excel in human cyborg relations. Oh goodness, we're gonna have a tough one today. But yeah, any tool that we have created throughout history has a good and bad side to it, but it's not the tool itself, it's us. We use the tool. It's the whole thing with the gun conversation, right?
Yeah.
Where they're saying, "Oh, guns are bad," and blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And they said, "Well, we need guns." The point of the matter is that a gun does nothing. It's the person behind it. A gun can't aim it. Well, if you tie that to a computer, then yes. But beyond that point, which is the more dangerous part, to be honest. But what when you just leave it on a table on the ground and it just stays there, no one comes to touch it, whatever, then the point of that conversation becomes moot, because what can it do when it can't even move on its own, right?
Mhm.
And that's why I think all those conversations about this or that on weaponry stuff is kind of dumb, because what point are you trying to make? It can't do anything. I don't know. I'm just silly. Hey, Tiny Panda Face, welcome.
Hey,
Nice
Havoc.
to Havoc's Tiny Panda Face. Yeah, I had her on a while back. She's pretty. She's a ball of energy. I'll just say that. Compared to Panda Sub, she's got more energy. Oh goodness. But I mean, what do you enjoy about doing what you do for freelancing? Because it seems like you've been into the computer thing for quite some time. Like you said, you started out very young or young.
The creative aspect of Max, actually.
Yeah.
When
Okay.
I started learning, I was learning Java and PHP,
Oh, really?
and I recall doing a Pokemon game for browser.
Mm.
I never finished it. I never finished it because for health reasons, I had to stop studying.
Right.
And basically, I see my code right now and I'm like, who did this? What this does? I don't remember anything. I forgot about it. But yeah, I mainly did focus on drawing,
Mm.
which I did by myself. I never went to school
Right.
because all you need is practice, basically.
Yeah.
That's something the people that's into AI says. No, no, art school and materials. No, no, no. All you need is a paper sheet, a pencil, an eraser. You're set.
Yeah.
All you need is practice.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, at some point I wanted to make my own video games,
Nice.
but that was in the back burner for a while.
Right.
And focused in drawing.
Right. And so that's been sort of your main thing for a while, at least until, yeah, because game making there are so many engines, so to speak, where you can make a
Yeah.
game with Unity, Blender. I know UE5 is free to a certain point. There was one I was seeing, Godot engine, which is a free engine to use. But there are a lot of engines out there that don't really cost much of anything at all to start making a game. If you like you said, you get into it and you start practicing and all that stuff, because it's not an easy aspect, because some people would give up like the first hour just trying to learn. Because I tried.
have seen way many people doing that.
Yeah. I tried to learn the Code Academy, that sort of thing, just trying to learn code. It didn't last long. It's like, what does this do? Oh, God dang it. Oh, goodness. Oh, look at that. I saw her singing to her dog. She sings to her dog? My gosh.
Oh, I need to see that.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Was she singing in dog or was she singing in human? Because I really want to know. Woof, 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 woof. I just can imagine her trying to sing to her dog and woof, 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 woof. She's gonna smack me later. One of those on her face are actually. Oh, where'd I let this go? Oh my goodness. But
yeah, everything is. I feel there's talented programmers, there's talented artists, but practice has a huge chunk of that. Like a lot of people think it's about talent. No, it's about practice.
Yeah.
Because you can have talent, but if you don't practice, that talent takes you nowhere.
Yeah. I think part of it is also perseverance too, because you're not always going to succeed, right? Because you have to fail a lot. I'm pretty sure throughout doing all of this stuff, you failed more times than you would like to count.
Oh yeah. Like, that's why I don't do art contests anymore.
You learned.
Yeah. Yeah, and my artist friends are like, don't do it, don't get it. And I'm like, but I feel I can win, and I'm drawing, and my back hurting, like, all right, I need to do it. 2 a.m. Leaving this tomorrow, I have to do it. And I'm like, I have a winner here. And what? No? Okay. And then my friends are like, told you, I told you. And that's why they don't do it anymore.
Wow.
Because, well, I don't want to say like they don't know art, but it's just you never know how they pick the winners,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Like in one contest, it was about doing vampire stuff, like for the games Vampire Survivors, something like that. I think it was the name of the game.
mm.
And basically, they at the end the winner was a meme. And I saw people with more quality than mine,
Mm.
and they don't want anything. So
Jeez.
makes you wonder what was they was looking for. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I think not that it's like the Olympics, whatever, because the Olympics has a different set of uh uh
Like
point
for Panda to do breakdance.
point yeah. I don't know if I call that breakdance. It more look like loss of bones or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know what was.
yeah, and
Because
it's
I was like, maybe I don't know breakdance, but I don't think this is breakdance.
this is from Australia too, so there you go for that one.
Yeah.
All right, here we're gonna bring out our special guest. It's gonna do a little breakdancing. I'm gonna give that a 3.5. She looks pretty, but it's not gonna work. Oh my goodness. Yeah, oh, where was I at? Breakdancing. I see well, no, I get it. You know, I'm not envisioning it. It's a joke, Big Black. It's a joke. All right. Goodness. I wouldn't say she's barking like a dog. Goodness sake. Maybe I just thought it'd just be funny if we saw her singing to her dog like she was barking to it. That'd be funny. Oh, hey, geek. How are you, good sir? Oh, he's on the YouTube side. Ooh, this is a new one. He's usually on the Rumble side. Ooh, special day indeed. Now I completely forgot where I was at. Anyway, that's the fun part about the show. You just forget where you're at and just like, there was something here I was speaking on for a second. No, but yeah, when I saw the news of that whole breakdancing thing from Australia, I was like, I'm glad I'm not watching the Olympics.
Oh yeah.
Now there was thing that came out of it. That one guy, right? That one guy that just looked down the stray of his gun like he was a professional. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's a confident guy right there. Everyone was like, mafia, mafia, mafia. He's like, no, he just looks like he knows how to shoot a gun. And everyone else is wearing these.
He was in the army.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh, so
That's
that makes
why
sense.
he's a good shooter.
Yeah, that's why
Because
it makes
of the
sense.
army training.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Well, I'm glad you didn't say Havoc knows we have a kid a lot. That'd have been a different story altogether. Um, yeah, I didn't know that. I thought because people were saying he was like mafia, mafia, mafia. Because I think he was what country was he from?
Turkey.
Turkey. Oh,
I believe it was Turkey.
okay. Because I thought people were saying he was Italian. I was like, well, he kind of does
No,
look
no,
like
no.
it. But no, that makes sense because all these other people were like using these weird glasses. I'm like, what is that for?
Mhm.
This guy just comes, looks down the barrel, and just fires, and it's just like, what the hell? Professionalism. He's just like, I'm here, I'm done, let's go.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I know the breakdancing made the news, that gun thing made the news, and then not much else of the Olympics made the news, which is
Aside of the opening, yeah, nothing
wow.
else to remember.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. The opening, oh my goodness. It was weeks on end just hearing the same thing about it. I'm just like, oh, okay, don't watch it, I guess. I don't know what else you want. And it's a funny thing to me when they talk about the woke stuff or whatever. I look at it and I say, okay, so what do these people respond to? Well, they respond to responding to it, which obviously they got the outrage, so to speak. Now that you're saying you can't speak out, just saying that you kind of play into the outrage factor. And for me, when I heard that, I was just over there. I was like, okay, not gonna look at it. I mean, I saw the, you can't get away from it. If on YouTube, you can see all the clips and stuff. Because that's the thing about all this platforming and stuff, is that some of these platforms, they have an algorithm, and whatever's a popular thing gets way more notice, and people play into that because views, whatever. and I don't fully play that game, which I guess is to my own detriment. Um, but yeah, when I saw that, I was like, nah. I mean, I don't know what else to think of it other than that. But yeah,
Mm,
I oh, what was that?
No, I mean, what can you do? What can you say about? You get offended? You don't get offended, or you just let by?
Yeah, I mean,
You can much.
yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, you either get offended or not offended. Uh,
There's a lot of people that's going to engage no matter what, but I see like it's a waste of time, you know.
yeah, and I feel that too. What does he say now? Cybermario AI is to art as AS music, not much more than a parlor trick at this point. Well,
Mm,
that's a lot of human stuff at this point. I mean, if we were to talk about our, you know, during C-19 COVID, what do you call it, when the whole supply chain thing was kind of being disrupted, whatever, our whole system we have now, whatever it may be, is on the edge of a knife,
mm,
right? One wrong move and we're done. It all it takes is one huge thing and we're just out. You want to see what humanity looks like when the rules no longer apply. I think the movie was called Roads, The Road, with Viggo Mortensen or something like that. I'm trying to think. But yeah, don't worry about where you live. If you live out in the country, you probably have a longer time. If you live in the city, uh, the purge is happening, so to speak. Um, but yeah, I get it. I get the outrage reactors or whatnot. But at the end of the day, I ask myself, is it really outrage or is it just for views, clicks, monetization stuff? Because you see it on. So you remember when uh, Twitter X had gone monetized, right? There
mm-hmm.
was bait post after bait post. There still is. It's just people bait posting just to get that sweet, sweet coin. And I'm just like, what is this place?
Yeah,
What the hell's
totally.
going on? I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. It's when. Now I don't know if you. I didn't see any links or anything of where if you stream or not. But my question is, when does when does content creation stop being content creation, and when does it just start being for the monetization factor? Right? Because you've probably seen a lot of those content creators who are just
Mm-hmm.
doing all this stuff to get that. And I'm not saying I'm too much better. I do try to use YouTube system to get my stuff noticed because I have a lot of different people taking bits and pieces out of the streams, and I do want to get those noticed because, like you, I've had a over 100 different people, and I want their piece of the story to be heard, whatever it's about, or piece of not a story, but piece of time together because we go all over the place, and you want these people's time to have a moment of shining because what if someone saw whatever it is and they related to it in a way, right? It's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
now this guy, like, Cybermario, oh, look, he's a web designer, he was self-taught and all this stuff, and people say, hey, I have something like that too. That's great. That's what I want to use
Yeah.
that system for. I don't want to. I mean, money's a side hustle. Money's a bonus to the whole ordeal, or follows, or clicks, or whatever. This whole thing right here, getting to talk to someone like you, or Panda, or Geek, those are the real points of why I even do this thing. The silliness of it all, whatever you want to call
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm not saying I'm the only person who does it, but I can't seem to find someone who's had 100 different people on over less than a year, because I try to do like the numbers in my head, right? Because usually
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you see the some content creators, they have maybe like one guest a week, so that's like 52 weeks, that's 52 different people. Okay, so if you did that, you'd have to do 2 years worth to at least get where I'm at, right? Now, so you have someone who brings on two different people a week, right? No, sometimes they build to their own friendship circle, and it's usually just that friendship circle. Let's say they bring a guest on, two guests on a week. so that in a year's time they've already completed to what I've done. Right, that's 1 year. If they do it 3 different people a week, that's 52. That's I'm getting the numbers. 1 7 no, it's 156 people for a year. So they would have to do 618. No. Yeah, they probably have to do a little more than half a year to get those kind of numbers. So again, this is just my point of view. This is what I've just seen. I'm not exploring like the ethers of the internet because it's too big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's too
that would
big.
be possible.
It's too big and too vast. And what? No, Big Black. You owe me 100, by the way. No.
But see, it's funny what you say. I have seen a lot of creators that are trying, and I mean, there's nothing bad in wanting to grow, wanting to be known, because at some point, a lot of people want that when they make their channels, right?
Mm.
I'm not going to critique that, but some people focus too much into that, in the end goal, and not enjoying the trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember a friend on YouTube years ago. He was known for playing fighting games and reviewing fighting games. He was the
wow.
game machine.
Oh wow.
And dude, he burned out and never recovered because all the time he was worrying to make contacts, to get, for example, PR people, right? Like I told you, I was a game reviewer. You may remember Mike from NLG.
I think so. Like this.
Well, he was our game reviewer too.
Okay.
Basically, we get to make contacts, networking, right, with people in the industry. And this YouTuber, this friend of mine, he wanted to meet these people because he was hoping they will give him a hand or retweet him or stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I was telling him that's not up to them.
Yeah.
If one of them do it, is because they like your content or because they want to promote you.
Yeah.
And when one PR was a mutual is retweeting his stuff, he don't notice, and I'm telling you, look, that's what you wanted?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I didn't notice. And he didn't interact back with them. And all the time he was asking people, what do you want to see? What do you want me to review? What do you want me to play? Basically, he was burned to the ground. He could not take it anymore.
Yeah.
As I see it, dude, is just have fun, right? The rest is going to come along.
Yeah.
You don't need to chase it.
And it's not just people like you or I. There's VTubers as well, right? You see the huge, I mean, mostly on Twitch, but you see this huge influx of VTubers, and it's just and Twitter X just flooded with them. Yeah. I cannot tell you how many times I have had someone follow me, and I usually say thank you for the follow and stuff as a kindness gesture, and they're usually, not all, but there's a huge chunk that's usually someone who's wanting a commission. And I'm just like, I thank you, but no. I understand what you're trying to do. I get it, but it's not, I try to offer like, well, why don't you come on my show and maybe you could do that way? No. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but it's very it's annoying when I have someone come in and ask, first they start off the conversation with, hello, how are you? All that stuff, trying to get in there. And then you have to get to that point, and then they get to, I have all this stuff. Would you like? No, thank you. No, thank you. I had one where I said, no, thank you. I appreciate it, but no, thank you. And they kept pushing. And I was like, look, if you keep it up, I'm going to block you. And they went ahead and blocked me.
Or when they follow you and immediately you get a DM asking for promotion for the channel.
Earn it. Show me you want.
Yep. That's not how you grow as a channel.
For me, I've been, I don't know if I'll call it luck or anything, but I have been in the situation of where I have been able to connect with a whole bunch of different people, and there's usually one person behind that person, right? So from, I don't know how it was I met Panda Sub, but from him, there was Luke's Awakening, right? Luke, now, of course, Luke is not doing streaming and stuff anymore. He's more focusing on his family. But then it was that, and then there was Tiny Panda Face after him. then of course you, and so many others. So through Panda Sub, I have met a whole host of people, right? So lady I had on years ago, Jessica Reloaded. Through Jessica Reloaded, I met Jack Tarlad. Through Jack Tarlad, I met the real Tomby. Through that, the real Tomby, I met Yarnwitch. I've met a few. I'm trying to think. DJ Smoo and a whole host of people, and I inspired him, at least through doing my pay it forward stream, for him to do his own pay it forward stream. His small content creator. So you have all this connectioning thing, right? One line to another and all this stuff. And that's what I'm really wanting to do, because as you see out there in the world, right, whether it be the tech or whatever, you see a lot of disconjoining disconnection.
Mm-hmm.
We're arguing about stuff that really doesn't make sense to argue. There's some important factors to argue about, but more than that, it doesn't make sense to argue about certain things. Or we're just this continuous fighting over silly stuff. And I really would like to change that. Not saying I'm out to save the world, because I'm human. So it's not going to happen like that. Mario, I'm here to save you. It doesn't work like that. But the issue is with doing Darachat. Basically,
Oh, look at the chat.
What? No, I'm not. I don't. No. I'm not dating, so I wouldn't have that kind of. Isn't that was Discord for guests? No, my Discord is for DMing. Gosh, what is your problem? No. These are awful in here. Well, September's full, Big Block. You have October. Gosh dang. I'm gonna get you on October. If you don't respond, I'm gonna pull this up again, and I'm gonna be like, I gave you the opportunity. Goodness sake. Bunch of sauerkrauts over here. Goodness. But yeah, it's just it's building, and that's the reason why part of why I've done the Dara's Hangout Den, the show, because I really want to do this crossover, cross-pollination stuff with other people I've had on, whether they're a creator or not. It doesn't matter if you're a creator or not. It's the matter of we need to reach past this divide, our own biases, because you look at the world now, we're so divided. It's no wonder people are at a restaurant and they're in the phone. It's no wonder people go on a date and they don't even speak to the other person. That's why we walk down the street. We don't really say hello anymore, because we're in there in our own worlds, which understandable. At the end of the day, though, we kind of need to reach across that point, because I have a bias, you have a bias, Panda Sub has a bias, everyone in chat has a bias. But when we can come together and just have a discussion and disagree, not scream at each other, not yell at each other, not slap each other in the face, I think there's something that can come from it. And so far, seems to be working. Again, that's why I also did the community Dara's Hangout Den community on Twitter X, because I want people who've been on before as guests to kind of mingle, because not in that way. Mingle as it's not a dating site. It's not a dating site. It's not a date. Not what Tiny Panda Face said. It's not a dating site. It's basically where guests previously can come together and just talk with each other. I don't know how to build a community. All right. I don't know how to have them this thing and then have them connect and just speak with each other. I don't know how to do that. Right. I just build it so that the previous guests can come on and, hey, there's Lord of the Ree. What up, Lord of the Ree? Oh, that's right. You're coming on this month. Hold on. What day are you coming on? Oh, no, you're not coming on this month. That's right. We'll try for the October. You can listen to ambient if you want, or you can listen to organic music like mine over at. Oh, I see. All right. Okay, all right. Well, I better read this just again. You can listen to AI music if you want, or you could listen organic music like mine over at Long Walks Music on Rumble. Long Walks Music, it's adequate. I want a 5 for that next time. That's a little. Yeah, paid for it, but still, locals is awesome. Yeah, I haven't used locals, but they're working on getting that integration with Rumble. So hopefully one day it'll be one instead of two different places. Name is Knob. D Knob. I'm licensed to ill. Oh goodness. D Knob. Yeah, I know I missed a few. I was gonna be number 500, but he got no. You're not. I mean, I'm not even close to 500. I'm not even close to 150 yet. So why you even try to go that far? Goodness sake. But anyway, before we go any further, that's great dating profile bio. Goodness sake. But anyway, before we go any further, it is the top of the hour, and I don't know if you've been here before that, but at the top of the hour of every hour, I set aside time for us to promote ourselves because why not? Usually, people with guests usually do it during the beginning, sporadically throughout, or towards the very end. I do it every hour, sort of as a timekeeping mechanism with you all. The only link I put down in the description is your Twitter X, but if there's something else you want to promote, the floor is yours.
Now, aside of the link on Twitter, there's my link to Ko-Fi in case someone wants commissions or were related to art or graphics.
Mhm.
And if someone wants to watch me stream games, which is not really often, but I do some from time to time,
Nice.
they can do it by clicking my profile in here.
No, that's
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're follow me. I know where you live.
I'm starting to feel the heebie-jeebies now. But no, it's yeah, with what you're doing because I saw your bio is like game reviewer and meme maker and comic. And I was like, and I'll get that soon. But anyway, from my end, guys, whether you're on Rumble or whether you're on YouTube, because I do stream to two different platforms. If you wouldn't mind, I know you can't see me, but if you wouldn't mind liking, share. I gotta reach up to this. But if you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, following, leaving a comment, either one bit of it or all of it, it doesn't matter because the engagement factor helps me being seen more, which helps having more people on, like Cybermario, like Panda Sub, like UB Legend, like so many of the people that I've had on so far. Look at that wall behind me. That's all the rants and stuff that people have given me over a period of time. If you were to see my beginning stuff, you'd see bare wall. And it's like that now. That's a whole lot of people. So any help is appreciated with the engagement factor because I cannot tell you how appreciative and how amazed I am having so many people on. I have over 100 different people. I don't know if there's any other creator that can say that within the period of time that I've done it, but I'll hold that as some sort of small success for me. So anyway, guys, if you wouldn't mind, do that. And in the description down below is my link. Now, again, it just links to my link tree. Again, Christian or Christian Sass. It's down here. Christian Sass, great guy, has his own company called Seven Talents. He bought a domain with my name, and then he used it to forward my link tree through. So the link's down below. Go there and find me either at Twitter X. I have a Discord to DM at. I have an email, or you can see where my YouTube and Rumble are at. Guys, if you want to come on, find me at those places and say, hey, I saw your thing. Can I have a shot? And we can talk about it. However, if you don't want to do that, just leave a comment on either YouTube or Rumble, and we can start from there. Because again, guys, I appreciate you all. Appreciate any help with the engagement, and of course, and having more people on. Because again, I've had over 100 different people, and I'm looking forward to again. So you're on here, but this is my month of September. Some of them are returns, and some of them are new. That's a lot of people, right? That's a lot of people. I don't always do weekends, but I try to work within people's schedules because, again, like with your schedule and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's been a fun, interesting time, and I so appreciate if you're gonna advertise on my show, at least up the ante. Come on. I do it to you. I'd give you a 10 just because you're fun. Um, that's the thing is I've seen that before in other content creators where they're given a super chat, YouTube, right? They're given a super chat or Rumble rant to advertise someone's thing. Now, obviously, in the marketing realm, you'd be paying thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. However, with this new thing called video platforming, whatever, people can't give a rant or super chat or whatever and can have their channel advertised. Not saying you might get away with it because some content creators are a little more finicky than others, but it does work at times. So there's a new thing of advertisement. What? Oh no, I didn't. I'm not going to. No, there was there is a content creator called Mark Brown, Markley, Marquis Brown or something like that. Marquis Brownlee or something like that. And he had done a review of them. And so he kind of gave it a meh. And it was cool, but it was meh. Block? I didn't blacklist Block. He's on the screen. I've seen him on the screen right now. Look, here it is. He's right there. It's Big Block right there. I see him in the thing. Big Block is a mod. I don't know what you're talking about. Weird. Let's not victims. Come on. It's not a lot of victims. It's a lot of fun, awesome people. But no, I didn't. The headphones, they look cool, but to be honest, the headphones I have now, there's a content creator on YouTube. His name is Hollow, and he had a deal going on with this company called it's Astro, but it's actually Logitech that makes these headphones. And so I saw them, they're pretty cool, and they're kind of flexible and all that stuff, and they're soft. And this is a microphone right here too. I just don't use it. And so he had a discount. And it was like $70, and I just went for it. So I was like, because you see all these other headphones, these big bourgeois headphones for noise canceling, whatever, and they're like a couple $100. I'm like, guys, yep. I am not that rich. Whatever little
even less when you donate to all those streamers.
Please, I have some more coinage, please. Can I have a coin? Oh my gosh. No, even if I were to do ad reads, which are different now, it still wouldn't be enough. So, but the thing of it is like my camera here is a Logitech. It's a Brio 500, and I got a deal on Amazon. It's like $70 or something like that because they do the discount price. And I got it for on the website. I believe it's close to 150, a little over 100, and I got it for less than that. So there's that. But the next camera up that they make, that Logitech makes, is probably closer to 200, and that's a 4K streaming camera, but it has like a privacy lens and all this stuff. So I may go for that. But these content creators that buy higher equipment, I get it. I have a $30 microphone, and you can hear pretty much everything, but I think there's a point where you just have to be satisfied and not worried about having the best of the best, because it is expensive as hell. It's expensive as hell.
Especially when some streamers give up after a few months because they don't go big. And they wasted tons of money on equipment.
I will say this, though. When tax season came around, I did get myself a new desk. So there's that. But that was just I needed a new desk. So, Astro is Logitech. What Squire is Defender. Hey, calm yourself, all right? Goodness. Yes. What is this? Thank you for getting him to let me back on. You were already there. You're a mod. You're a mod. Dear goodness, Big Block. Oh my gosh. What is? Oh man. Yeah, he can now see. I'm using Brave Call in order to have him on because again, Rumble Studios for some odd reason has issues with cameras. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the fix I know may work, sometimes it doesn't. But I use Brave Call and then I use the whole share screen thing. So we're using, so he can see everything in the back end, like all my stuff and all that. So it's like, it's headache. My headphones for recording music are like $200, and that's just headphones. They don't have a mic. See, it's like, what? Technology has gotten better, and we're costing more. Oh, he uses Big V. Bose? Is that how you say it? Bose Quiet? I don't know how you say it. If my wife hadn't gotten them, I wouldn't have their pricey. Yes, they are. 200 is pricey. Dear Lord. I got a sick deal on Razer Keo webcam. It was about $150. See, there you go. You got to look for those deals. You got to look for those deals because some of this stuff is hella expensive. Big Black is saying, so we're broken over a last flight, so I gave my old Bose and bought Apple AirPod Max on sale for me. Overpriced. Look, for what it's worth, and I saw that the new iPhone came out, and so a lot of people are saying it's the same, and I'm not going to argue with them, right? It just means the younger versions of iPhones get cheaper. So, hey, right for me because I'd like to get a new iPhone. But yeah, I will say this: the one thing that Apple does really well, and it's what's probably kept it in business so far, is its ecosystem, right?
Mm-hmm.
You buy a product, whether it be the watch, the phone, the tablet, the computer, whatever, they all have the ability to access the same information that you have, the music, the videos, all this stuff. If you buy it off Apple, you can access it off your phone, you can access it off your tablet, you can access their ecosystem. And that's where I think that's what will help Rumble is building its own ecosystem. And yeah, what is he saying? I never say the bad thing, homie. So Squire sounds great. Some of the components aren't as high quality, and I mean, yeah, and I understand that. A lot of our stuff in America is made in China. A lot, like 90% of it. All right. If you really wanted to revolt against China, you stop buying Chinese stuff, which is a lot. What?
If we wanted to do that, we will be naked on the streets.
Well, some of the clothes are made in Pakistan, so you have that, in India.
Oh yeah,
Pakistan, India, Mexico.
That's also true. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I saw that too earlier. Distracted. I think Bulldozer mentioned that. Daramouthe's back in. I don't know if you want. That's that. No, I don't know what back end you're talking about, but no. Yeah, you're a mod over on YouTube, Abe. Get over yourself. Goodness sake. Yeah, you could say that, but it's $1 trillion company, and
yeah,
it still exists.
There's a lot I don't like about Apple, but what you say is true. The ecosystem is great.
Yeah,
they have done a great job there.
I will say this. Yes, after Steve Jobs left, and of course we can all say, it was something easy that could have been done, but Steve Jobs is a different kind of stubborn. So there you go. I read his biography book after it came out. I know it was a bit rushed, but I think people wanted to read his story after the fact. And there's a lot of interesting things to learn about Steve Jobs if you ever take the time to. But yeah, he could be stubborn, but you can't say he wasn't a genius of sorts. So what is he saying? My jazz bass was made in Indonesia. Look, there you go. Look, see, there you got it. Big Black says, I use Rig for Xbox. What is Rig? What does Rig stand for, Big Black? The Apple are noise canceling for travel, and yes, well, you can say what you want. I don't care. Because gay people spend too much, rich people spend too much money. So if you're saying rich people are gay, I mean, I'll let you, but that's like saying Elon is gay and yet he has kids.
Yeah, Ricky Martin is gay and he has kids.
Yeah, well, Ricky Martin, that's a troubling story in itself. Because I remember that was a big story back in the day where he was just the way he acted and his music and stuff. People kind of assumed he might be, and all that jazz. So it's a fashion statement. Yeah, it is. But a lot of people make fashion statements, and guess what they're willing to spend their money on? A fashion statement. Self-image. Self-image is what they're willing to spend their money on. And Apple has a self-image. Not the greatest in the world, but it's built up its credibility over the years. And part of that is, again, to Steve Jobs and Jony Ive and so many others in the industry. I once bought a Jackson R32 guitar, Alderwood. One of the wings got chipped with a minor bump on something. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Super, thanks for asking. I'm glad to have asked, Big Block. I'm glad to have asked. Oh, goodness. Okay. These nuts. These nuts. Elton is gay and he's still shut up. Hey, well, guess what? The gay is back in town. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. He was living the real. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. That's too funny. Living la vida loca. Gosh, that was such a popular song back in the day. People would, goodness sake. Ricky. What was it? There was another artist, and he would sing that song Hero. I can be your hero, baby. I can't remember the name though. But I know he was Spanish. Got one. You too, Big Z. Hope to have you on sometime. I haven't had you on yet, so we'll get there. But yeah, I can't remember. He's not Ricky Martin. Someone else sang that song, but Enrique, something Enrique.
Oh yeah, Enrique Iglesias.
Yes, that's it, Enrique Iglesias. Because the funny thing is that people had to play the Spanish version because the English version sounded like he was enjoying himself too much. I can be your hero, baby. Yes, Enrique Iglesias. Yes, we figured it out. Oh man, that's why I don't buy pointy guitars anymore. My ITD Explorer got chipped. I play mostly Paul Reed Smith guitars now, besides my Resonant Acoustic, which is an Epiphone. That's right, Epiphone. Oh, I have a Alvarez 6-string, and then I have that electric acoustic 6-string, but I can't remember what it's named. But yeah, I get it. I think when that guitar, both of the guitars I have are my dad's, but he doesn't play with it anymore, and I've had him, and I don't play with him anymore, just so to speak. But when I had this a long time ago, I was setting.
Hey, we're close to get a band here. I can play the piano, you play the guitar, Javi sings. We can get band on the.
We can go full. We can go full mariachi if we wanted to. I don't think we want to, but this guitar itself. So there was an incident where, I took it out of its bag or something and was sitting against leaning against the table or whatever. I don't remember where I leaned it up against on the table, but it fell over and the head broke off and it broke the strings and stuff. So I had to go to a guitar place to get that head fixed because it was damaged. But yeah, so I've already had a damage to that, but it plays fine now. They fixed it. It was just just fell and just all over. What is he saying now? I like Yuma too, so maybe I'm super. So she. I think I need to take someone off of being the mod. What would we call our band? What would we call our band there, Mario?
The Rumblers.
I could have gone something like the Spicy Maracas. They've come to play and come to play hard. There's my no, don't even try to get smart with that. I know what you're trying to do. He did a song years ago. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess we now know why he was singing like that for the English version. I could be your hero, baby. No. If I was going to call it a name, I'd call it the Spicy Maracas. Because it gives it a little flavor. And you know, the maracas and all that stuff. And people are like, ooh, what's this about? Don't sit down. Your butts will be on fire. Why is this guy trying to act like he's Hispanic or something? The dance will make you float in the air. it makes me kind of reminds me a bit of Antonio Banderas when he plays Puss in Boots. I am
Oh yeah.
Puss in Boots. Did you see Did you see that last movie? The
Not the last one, no.
Okay, yeah, it was pretty good. It was very. It reminded me of the sort of, not always, but sometimes the motion actioniness of the Spider-Man Spider-Verse movie. It was like that. Sometimes it act like it's a blocky sort of whatever. But it's sort of the look of it sort of reminded that, because it did have some pretty good action stuff, and it's pretty fun. Oh yeah, I saw that, the whole Linkin Park. Uh, Look, there have been many bands who have replaced their stuff. Rolling Stones, I think Kiss has, INXS maybe. Look, when you have to replace a band member, it might be time to do something else, because there's magic, right? You get a band together, there's magic. The Backstreet Boys would be different if one of the band member died. Well, one of the band, not band members, but one of the members died, and they brought someone else. And it's like, this isn't the Backstreet Boys. That guy's already dead. So at a certain point, you've got to let the band go. Shake to the beat of the, yes, that's right. Like in the night of the heat of Mexico, the spicy maracas will rise from the fire. No, Abe. No. That's only when you've eaten too much caliente, as the kids would call it. Spiciness. Sometimes I wish Taylor Swift would get Well, sometimes I wish she would get a new writer, because all she can write about are the boyfriends she leaves or leave her. And that's the funny thing about her. I think the new song they put out sounded weird. So the Rolling Chester just sounds, yeah. At a certain point, you just need to let it go. If one of your band members dies, you either go on as is or let it go, because you can't replace lightning in a bottle. It's just impossible, But so you do live in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
What? Not to ask exactly, but what part?
In the city of Guadalajara.
Okay.
Right in the center of the country.
Okay, because I have a uncle who's a missionary for the Yucatan. So I don't know where that relates to you, but I know where the Yucatan is. It's sort of like this upper area. It's like this little far off, because
yeah, it's not close here.
Yeah. But yeah, I know they've gone to Mexico City. I had family, some of my family visited them in Mexico City, and they went around and all that stuff, because but another content creator I know who lives in Mexico is Nina Infinity. Well, not in Mexico City, but she lives in Mexico. Nina Infinity lives in Mexico, and it's very interesting to see that sort of, because again, we see the politicalness of it, right? The caravan stuff, jumping over the fence and stuff. So while I know that the cartel stuff is a real situation, what for you is life like there, per se?
Well, my city is one of the cities that doesn't have that problem with cartels. Like, for example, if you go into the highway, leave the city of Guadalajara, I mean the state, Jalisco, right? And start entering Michoacan, which is a narco state.
Okay.
You will see hanging corpses in the highway, and it's like saying you are entering our territory, basically.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it's not close. It's like what example can I give you? Gotham City, and what's the city of Superman? I forgot.
Metropolis.
Imagine Gotham and Metropolis.
Really?
That's Michoacan and Jalisco.
Wow.
They have issues with narco too, obviously. They have houses and such like that, but it's not as bad as other places in Mexico. Like, for example, Michoacan is really bad. Matamoros, which is in the border with Texas, is really bad.
Wow.
They are narco states. But yeah, unless you go to certain places, like, you won't go to the ghettos in Queens, right? If you're a tourist.
Yeah.
Exactly, we have good places in the city and places in which you won't go by nighttime, even
Yeah.
if you live here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's common sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, will it exist? Is not as vast as other places.
Right.
It's really certain focuses in the country,
Yeah.
which are like narco states.
So, what would the tourist places be under per se? Would they be sort of, man, control of cartel, or are they completely away from that? So, because I know
No,
this,
that's completely away from that.
okay, because I know there's like one of the places is it Tijuana or Cancun? Yeah, I think it's Cancun Beach is one of the tourist places in
Mm,
Mexico. I mean, gosh, a bunch of teen people go down there to party, and all that stuff.
mhm,
Um, so there's that. But yeah, it's just an interesting factor to learn because again, there's places in the U.S. where, like, I could say Detroit, and
mhm,
people say what parts of Detroit, because there are parts of Detroit where, at least the stories I've heard is that you don't that not well the stories I've heard is that not even the army would go into these places because
mhm.
it's that bad. And so when you hear that, that doesn't spark any curiosity to go there unless you're an idiot. And there are a lot of idiots in this world. A lot of them. The social media likes to show them off once in a while.
Yeah.
Um but it's just interesting to learn because again, the only relation I have to Mexico is an uncle who's a missionary in Yucatan, and everything else is more of just learned through a symbiosis of news and touristy stuff and all this. So you don't really get a complete picture. So when you get to ask someone like yourself or someone else from there, you kind of get a better picture because your daily life, you're on the
Mhm.
ground floor. I mean, and thank goodness you live in a place that's not like huge cartel war or something like that because, some of that's leaked up to the United States and it's not a pretty thing. And I can imagine that for those people who live in those areas, it's not a fun time. But to kind of get that kind of insight, because that's what I've always asked of the people who've been on the show. Like I've had people on from the UK,
Mhm.
Tom B and Jack Charlotte and all that stuff. And then I've had people on from Australia. There's a perfect example is Alpha Zero Omega, gaming on Rumble, but Alpha Zero Omega, and he talks about how you can get guns in Australia, but it's very difficult to get a
Mhm.
gun. They put in these roadblocks and all this stuff, and a lot of stuff, mishaps, whatever, is by foreign entities, immigrate stuff and all that, and all that stuff. The sort of stuff you've seen with the UK, where they've had the people come in,
Mhm.
not integrate, and all that stuff. You have the same thing over in Australia. And does Mexico have that issue as well, or is it separate from that, or does it not have to deal with it?
Well, unlike the USA and Mexico, you cannot go buy weapons just like that.
No, okay,
Either you get them illegally or you get a permit from the army.
right.
And to get a permit from the army, you need to be someone like politician, an actor, a
Mm,
TV host, someone that can prove that he needs it for protection, right?
mm,
Something like that. Or, for example, ex-militaries, veterans,
mm.
they have permit to carry after they
Okay.
leave the army. And there's been many cases in which, for example, because that's an issue, you might not need to worry for the cartel or get kidnapped, but you need to care for your phone and
Mm,
your wallet because we
right.
have a lot of thieves. And there's been cases in which veterans has killed thieves on the streets. And basically, we are like, good for him, because the fucking government is not doing anything.
Yeah, it wasn't. Didn't Mexico get a woman president? I think it
Not
was.
yet. Uh,
Oh,
no, I think it was this one. Yes, 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 yes,
oh, okay.
yes.
Yeah, because I remember that was a big thing a while back. It's like Mexico's got a woman president. Ooh, and I'm just like,
Take
okay.
that, USA. Take that, USA.
And your country isn't in any much better shape. So, wow, she's really working up the crowd there, um, or taking them out, whichever it is. Uh, what? Okay, so we better go through some of these. They should have gone the Nirvana route. They already shared one similarity. Nirvana. Are you saying Nirvana? Or are you saying the Kurt Cobain route? There's two different routes right there. They should just start a new band with her and the new drummer. Yeah, but then they wouldn't be known as Linkin Park. So she's writing a new song about her ex-boyfriend. Yes, Taylor Swift is always writing an new song about an ex-boyfriend. Hey, Kelsey, guess what? Oh, did you see that thing about how their supposed relationship is a sham? Like there's some kind of contract or something out there that's supposed to be like September 28th is when it's supposedly supposed to end. And that whole news came out a while ago. That was just weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
You know, Havix, you might not be that wrong because she's a lefty.
Oh, I see. Mexican DEI. Well, I mean, if you're installed by the cartel or to some degree some power force, why not? I don't know. I wouldn't say.
Have you seen the last Rambo movie?
Yes, I did see the last Rambo.
That
movie.
one in which he fights the cartel.
Yes, that was, and the weird thing though was he had him come up to his place, which I mean, don't get me wrong, he got beaten like crap when he was down there. I was just like, well, he's an old guy, so he's not gonna be able to.
Like, people say that was racist. Obviously, you know the typical white liberal in America, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's racist against the Mexican. And I like every friend of mine in Mexico. We was like, that's exactly what they do. That's the cartel right there. The only thing the movie got wrong is when they are walking in front of the cameras and the TV like they were on the country. They don't do.
They keep themselves hidden, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Staying to the shadows, which makes sense because people who want to get down.
And that the movie got everything right, even the tunnels, because they have tunnels. That's why sometimes I laugh when they talk about the wall, because the wall is not going to be anything for them.
Yeah.
They find one tunnel. You see how many more there are?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How many people they have on their... well, I can imagine they also pay some of the guards in the border too.
I wouldn't be surprised. If the money is good, why not?
They will find a way to get illegals in the USA, even with the walls.
Yeah. No, and that's where the wall thing is either a wall or it's a multitude of things that's going to have to be combated because, again, like you said, there's Mario. Oh, my bad. That's where this thought is going to have to be on multiple facets because there's the tunneling, right? Stories of tunneling, flying over. I mean, of course, the current U.S. government has sort of helped with that sort of thing, but it's more or less trying to put up enough roadblocks in the way to deter it enough. I mean, I don't know if the stories are fully true that when Trump was in office, that many of them, they were doing like interviews with the caravan or whatever, and they'd come saying, when Trump was office, we wouldn't go because whatever. Don't know how too much true that is, but for that regard, it really is just about putting enough, causing enough friction in order to not turn the tide, but tame the tide, if you will. Because again, like you said, there's many ways, and part of it is the human factor. Yeah. And if you can pay enough to human factor, or not pay enough but threaten enough, you can get stuff done. I'm just saying. But we'll see what happens.
And honestly, I don't know if it's true that the caravans are funded by the Democrats or not.
Yeah.
But believe me, people don't even like them too. They have done a lot of stuff in Mexico too.
Yeah.
When they was crossing through my city, one of them was arrested because they got into a house, they killed the family to steal the money, and obviously they was deported. But they have been doing a lot of shit in Mexico too.
Jeez.
Like needles, drugs on the streets, stuff like that. Like since the caravans began, Mexico has got it bad too. Like people here don't like them.
Yeah, and I think part of the matter at hand is we don't hear those stories much because we're usually just hearing, the caravan's coming up, through this and through that, whatever, and you're trying to get. I think for Mexico, it has, I mean, even for the US, it has a lot tougher because you're dealing with the politic aspect. And the political aspect is very deterring at actually doing what its people wants it to do, especially when you're talking about something like power groups, right? Cartel groups fighting against each other, getting power, whatever, but they don't go full. They never go full. What's the word? Takeover. They usually do underneath the scenes because it's a lot better to be behind the scenes with a lot of power and pulling the strings rather than up front and showing, because you can do a lot in the dark. And I think, like with the Rambo movie, you know, they, you know, hiding in the dark and all that stuff. What is this? Makes us watch stereotypical cartel characters movies because we see no lie.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah.
Yeah, I have one here that says that. The Brazilian prisoners are running out of more people to cross the border. It's true. It's true. Mario doesn't think the caravans are spotted by the devil. Well,
no, I don't know if it's true or not because I don't have a way to prove it.
Yeah,
but it's most likely is the case.
Yeah, I think there may be a hand of help, but there's a limit of line because I mean, it's not like governments don't exchange hands dirty wise in the background. We just don't get to see it. We're too busy with our own lives, and until it intrudes on ours, we're not thinking about it. And I think that's the issue with people and governments, is where all our bandwidth isn't taking care of ourselves or our families or a whole host of things. You're not thinking about defending from other countries. You're not thinking about bad guys in the dark trying to steal or whatever. You're not thinking about all the stuff that would just take up all your thought process and nothing would be left for your family or your life. And so that's where we created a thing called government, we as human beings, because we needed someone else to take care of that stuff while we went to the raising of crops and all this, you know, creating humanity, you know. But the problem of it is, though, is that we've allowed them to go overboard and there's no oversight, right? You know, you can say, what was it? What's the guy in, not Brazil, but Afuera. I can't remember his name. You have that, and then you have, I think, the president from Salvador is another. But the whole thing with the Brazil stuff, right? You know, banning of Rumble from there, trying to ban of Twitter X from there, and all this stuff. It's just one guy who has power because no one's oversighting him, and the president supposedly in charge is in on it.
Yeah, and the people that is claiming this is Elon's fault is like they don't know what they are doing because they are not protecting them from misinformation. They are protecting themselves from giving people access to information.
Yeah.
Because someone is going to follow Facebook and other social media networks.
Yeah.
If they think it's only X, they are wrong.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep the population isolated from the truth.
Yeah. Same with America. I mean, it's not just those two. Plenty of governments out there do the same thing, right? Because it's at its most base form, it's people supposedly voting people in. And now that this other group has a huge swath of supposed power given by the other group, because this other group has other things they have to focus on, and they're giving all this almost unfettered power to this other group in order to take care of defending of country and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And we see that's not always the case, where that ends up failing. And again, we're dealing with other human beings. It's not a surprise. Tiny Painterfest says Haitian illegals are eating cat. No, I thought it was
a tweet that they was trying to eat a seagull.
That's insane. I know about the cat one, and there was something about ducks or something like that. I've been seeing that a lot going on Twitter X.
I think it was a seagull.
A seagull? Oh my gosh, that's whatever's food, right? Same meals at time do they pair? Oh I can't. Luke Awakening says they're Mexicans, not Mexican. Goodness is better from illegals. People in power do. That's the whole point of that. Is people in power seems to benefit. Dara meant. I don't know what this. I don't know what this is in relation to. What are you trying to say, Tiny Painbase? Redhead thing? I'm right here. I'm right here. My mic is on. Listen. Oh goodness. Cash, housing, UT. It's not just Dems, it's people in power. Because it's not just Dems, it's also there's a form of Republicans as well who do it.
Am I trying to go up there legally? If I knew they was giving money on free tickets, I will be in New York right now.
New York, just look at the whole New York debacle, right? Mm-hmm. They were given a place to stay
it's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Cats roll their eyes and judge the way you eat them. Yeah, they also roll their eyes and judge the way you look at them too when they're fat and rolly. Big Black says, to be fair, a cat would eat me. True. I don't doubt that all those cat ladies that are out there now, when they pass, they'll just be, dinner for their cats.
Their deaths are eco-friendly.
There you go. All those eco people will finally have a reason to die in their home because the cats will have something to eat for once. Oh, Contras is scared of blow up. What's your point? Government was created by people, and it's hard to trust people in creating government. I don't know what you want. I love my puppers so much they would eat me and say, Tiny Panda. I'm just gonna leave that one alone. Haitians eating cat. Never seen that. I know.
She's like, eat me, my child. Eat me.
Oh, that's
like, I'm going to die, but you're not going to have fun for days.
Look, listen. You need to eat me after I go because there's no food. No food. Can't open the can. Luke says, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. Yeah. I thought it was
the best scenes of the movie.
Yeah, I thought that was biblical proportion. I thought he said something like biblical proportions. Cats and dogs living together, something like that. Well, say whatever you want. I mean, at least we get to say it over here, and you get sidetracked by YouTube. So, luckily, I'm not one of those people who don't cop your speech over there. But hey, I'm nicer than some people. But yeah, no, it was a funny scene. But no, yeah, it's just interesting to learn it because I think a lot of stuff gets omitted because we can't trust our news media to give us information. We kind of have to ask those questions, and I think that's a good question to ask of, from the ground floor from people, because I know very few words in Espanol. Americans pick up certain words because of osmosis, like hola and some other ones. They don't even say it right either. They just say it like Americanese. Or
even in the north, basically they speak Spanglish.
Spanglish, yeah. There was the movie by Adam Sandler on that remark is Spanglish.
Especially in Baja.
Yeah. It's funny.
Like, for example, everyone in Baja says cherry.
Cherry, really?
Cherry. Yeah.
Wow.
So for example, Spanglish, the word troca.
Troca, okay.
Is a mix with Spanish and English truck, right? Or for example, the word lonche.
Lonche,
basically. Basically, a lot of the Mexicans that was in the USA, the so-called cholos.
Cholos, yeah, I've heard that one.
They come back to Mexico and they start speaking Spanglish. And then the people here pick the Spanglish and they speak it like if it was regular Spanish.
Yeah, I think that's another form of osmosis as well, because again, you have, you have that part where, and it's not just Hispanics, Costa Ricans. You have a wide swath of, Spanish speakers that that can happen too. I mean, obviously, a bunch of Cubans would escape to Florida because Cuba and Florida and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Oh, hey Jay, hey Jay did elite. Okay.
How you doing?
Trying to get that, trying to get the emblem for Rumble Squared to look a little better. Hopefully, some of the people have it by next month. So let me put this. Let me put. Yes, agua. Oh no. The one thing is Dora the Explorer. That's where I learned some words. Dora the Explorer. Oh my goodness, that was too funny. But hey, it's true. There are shows like that. He could be the new Scarface. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Have you ever lived? Oh, here we go. Have you lived in the U.S., Mario? My bad.
No, never. But there was plans to move in at some point.
Yeah.
My mother and my grandmother did live in the USA. They was born over there.
Oh, they were born over there? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, I'm Mexican American, but I never bought my passport done.
Oh, okay.
So I never left Mexico.
Yeah, that's understandable. From your point of view, since you mostly just live in Mexico, now do they still live in America or not anymore?
No, they did.
Oh, okay. Oh, apologies. So from your perspective, right? Because you see, the stuff on your end of how your country is and on the ground floor sort of stuff. From the United States side, what is your contrast between the boats? Because I imagine if you're wanting to move to the States, you see that there's a better prospect there. But when you see all this stuff with like the, all this cartel, illegal alien, all this stuff, I kind of imagine it doesn't really play too well since it sort of happens in your country too. So what makes a difference of you wanting to move here, basically?
At some point when that was the plan, I think there's more opportunities in the USA than in Mexico.
Okay.
Especially if you want to be independent.
Yeah.
For example, let's say I can open a comic shop down here, right? But the shipping and handling is different. And there's more, even with the economy, there's more money in the USA than is in Mexico.
Interesting.
Because of salaries.
Oh.
So if I open a store here, most likely it's going to close.
Interesting.
Because people here don't have the economy to sustain that kind of hobbies.
Oh.
The figures, the comics, all that kind of stuff. And in the USA, even with the current economy, people can't afford something like that.
Yeah.
So opening a store like comics, video games, which is something I wanted to make like a mix of both.
Right.
Could be good, a nice opportunity in the USA, and it's something in Mexico cannot do because I have seen it. Many stores open and then closing it within a year.
Interesting.
Because people don't have the money to buy that kind of stuff.
So yeah, you're basically saying the economy isn't there to support those kind of things. It's very vapid. It's just with smoke. That sucks. But I can't imagine that even our own economy could support what's going on for too long because you have this huge influx of people and then all this other stuff. And so, and of course, government overspending. Dang it. Hit my mic. You have this government overspending. You have all this bits and pieces here. And then you just have states going out of control like California. It's, again, like I said earlier, we're on the edge of a knife.
Yeah.
And it only takes one thing to go wrong. That if it hits our economy, not just our economy, not just Mexico's economy, but the world economy, don't worry about the power going out. There won't be power much longer. I mean, you look at South Africa, right? Or you look at Africa and they're using their power lines to heat up their food. It's a very teetering part, and sooner or later we're gonna land on the sharp side.
Yeah.
And we're surprised. It's surprising we haven't, but it's.
See, this is something I was talking to with one of my aunts the other day. That years ago, when Mexico was going to shit, if there was something that was causing a big problem, economic stuff like that, people was like, move your money to the USA. We're moving to the USA. Because it was a safe place.
Right.
But what happened like 1 year ago? banks closing in the USA. People losing their money.
Yeah.
The prices of the houses, dude.
Yeah.
Like when I was considering moving, I wanted to move to California because this is where my grandmother did live.
Oh, okay.
She used to be staff in a military base, Vandenberg, near Lompoc, California.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to move there because like to have a kind of nexus with her, right? Because she used to live there,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to move there. But I saw the prices of the houses,
Yeah.
and then I was comparing the prices of the houses in Texas,
Yeah.
like for example McAllen, Bronzeville, stuff like that. And you can buy a fucking mansion in McAllen.
Jeez.
For in California, you buy a little trailer, and the land is not yours. It was like, what the fuck is that? Like, it makes no sense to move to California. It's crazy to live in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no doubt. Jeez.
Imagine a mansion in Texas, even if it's McAllen, which is not ugly. It's a nice community.
Yeah.
Mostly Mexicans, but that's also why I like it, right? Because when I was planning to move, my grandmother was already sick, and I was taking care of her.
Right.
And in Mexico, for her to get Medicaid, she needs to move to the USA.
Really?
And need to have a domicile in the USA. That was what they told me, right? So that was part of my plan, to move to the USA to get her Medicaid, maybe an orphan house that can help me, because doing everything, taking care of an elder is a 24-hour job.
Yep. Yeah.
Might not look like it, but it's extremely exhausting.
Yeah.
So that was the plan, because she can get a better life and I can get a better life, right?
Yeah.
So she passed away in 22, and that kind of put my plans in hold, because I don't have that hurry anymore.
Yeah.
Right. But after I have been seeing on the USA with Biden, the economy and stuff like that, dude, right now shopping food in Mexico is much cheaper than the USA.
Wow.
Much cheaper. So basically, right now, if you ask me the difference, USA more chances for a business to be independent. Mexico, cost of life is much better.
Yeah.
Sometimes life is slower, depending also where you live, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But sometimes there's pros and cons in both countries.
Yeah.
But right now, it doesn't feel like the paradise it used to be in the USA.
Yeah. And I think part of that is what we've allowed to happen, and it basically comes down just not being good caretakers of our own country. It's basically what it comes down to. A lot of people fell into the sort of 1950s era sort of thinking and prosperous and all this stuff, but after a while peace gets boring. Whether it be war, whether it be internal, peace gets boring for some people, and sometimes they look for conflict or create conflict and just whatever. And we as Americans, whether born here or otherwise, or you come as an immigrant, go through the process and become of a naturalization, your duty is to the country you've now become a part of, because you want to see it. However, we've kind of let that slide. And it doesn't matter who's in charge, because obviously that changes with the times and all that stuff. It's about keeping that taken care of on the bottom floor. We have a rule book, but people in power look at the rule book and say, nah, walk off. But we don't do anything about it, though. I mean, we try to, but we don't do anything about it. And I'm sure in some manner that's probably how some of the Mexicans feel, because they have their own country, their own culture, heritage, history, right? The temples and whatnot down there. But as you stated, people are like, let's move to America. Let's move to America. They gave up and moved elsewhere. And guess what happened? It came with them. And we continue to let other external sources to influence us. And of course, our higher powers, the Congress, whatever, we as our caretakers of our own country, with this rule book made hundreds of years ago, have what's the word I'm trying to use? We have given up our ability to be caretakers of our country. And we have said, I'm just worried about my little piece of land. Forget about you all. I'm focusing on this. Your job is to take care of the external stuff. But we kept forgetting that we have to keep that part in check too. And I think a lot of people forget that it requires both ends, right? It requires all our bandwidth to live in a country. It doesn't matter what the country is. It requires our bandwidth to live in a country. And when we forfeit that, right? And I know people talk about the election stuff, and I'll save that for a rainy day. But when people forfeit their country to move somewhere else and say, we're not going to take care of this, it's the same with people moving into different states, right? California, whatever. The point of the matter is, once you forfeit that position and move elsewhere, guess what? The system's already decaying anyway, but there's always that hope of fixing it, right? There's always that hope. Somewhere along the way, there's always that hope.
Yeah.
But once you leave that place, that's gone. You're off to somewhere else thinking about that. But there are other people. And I think we've disillusioned ourselves to the point where we don't care about being caretakers. And at some point, it's going to end. America's not going to be around forever. I'm sorry to tell you. North America, all these governments are not going to be around forever. It's going to change. The landscape is going to change. 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, it doesn't matter. The landscape is going to change, and what is not going to be. Right? Yeah. All certainly changed from back from 1776 in the U.S., obviously. But it's going to change, and people aren't going to like it. People don't like it now, but what are you doing about it? Oh, I'm going to bring this person in to do it. Is voting really going to change it, or is defending and getting rid of the systematic crap that's disillusioning from us from being better caretakers? Because right now, we're bad caretakers. We're too worried about what's going on in our small circle when the circle is really big. Forget about the asteroids in space. Forget about all the other planets. We got to take care of here first.
Yeah, correct.
And then you've got Elon, which I understand he's billionaire, wants to get out in space. He's wanting to get out in space. And yet, what's the issue he keeps complaining about? Oh, that's right, birth rate stuff. Just get in your rocket and go. Man, what else? You already got 12 kids. What else do you want? What else do you want? I better look at the chat. Let it go a little too long. Tiny Panda asks, why is your English better than Americans? Ooh.
It's not. She's too kind, but it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah. Less slang at Tiny Panda Face. Mario is proper. There you go. See, proper it is. I saw really bad vids about the cartels. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
there's all the bad stuff. Yeah.
What was it in the movie Rambo? Right, there was that one scene where they just, or they almost cut his head off. But I'm pretty sure that
happens. That happens.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. His vocabulary is larger than most idiots.
I can't agree with that.
I don't know who they are. I can't agree with that. What Big Black says, I think the idiot term may hold the It's true. It's a thread you won't see, possibly. Mexico, it is a mess. It is a mess, but America is a mess too. There is no getting around that. Peace sells, but who's buying? Exactly. Exactly. It's been a thing throughout all of history. There will always be a war. You're not going to get rid of it because we're human beings. We get power hungry to some degree. We want more, this or that. We're never content. We're never satisfied. Oh goodness. Oh, he's talking to Blip. Oh, what I Blip? Oh, he's asking that. I see. Why? Yeah, why would he ban you? I don't get it. Unless you go really on the deep end like Mike. I don't know why we'd ban you. I don't like that you buy them, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah. No comment. I care more he isn't pissing people off there because I don't trust them. I care more he isn't people. I don't know to what that relates to. I apologize. I don't know what that relates to. I don't know if it relates to. Oh, this is a blip blop. So we're probably talking to Big Black. Yeah, understandable. But yeah, it's just when we actually get to sit down and actually get to talk about the issues that and wow, you made a Technicolor discovery. Oh no, you made a Technicolor discovery. I'm impressed. That P cells thing for me was just quoting a Megadeth. Oh, okay. Well, no, but it is a true statement to make, though. It is a true. Looking at our country, looking at other countries, even looking at Mexico, is a true statement to make. Because why do we always keep going into war? What's the point of it, right? Well, companies make money off war. There's money to be made. That's the only implying factor of why there's any war at all, other than land takeover, other than power. There's money to be made. And I've stated this before too. If the US dollar was looked at by 75% of the country as worthless, I doubt you would have war. Unless gold and silver is a thing, but that's a totally different monarch. But it's just we're at a point now where we can sit down, or we should be sitting down and having those conversations, and then going to an action point from there. But I think a lot of people are frightened, scared, not sure what to do, mostly just people who follow. There's a lot of different variables, and I think a lot of people are past the point of there are some people who want to make change for the better. I can agree to that. But more than that, there are people who just want to be left alone, don't want to be bothered, and just let the chips fall where they may. At that point, I would say, then you no longer need to have a country at all. You just need to be stocked. Because why even bother? Why even bother with this whole Bill of Rights? Why even bother with any form of the Constitution? Why bother at all? If you just want to be left alone, want to be left alone to your own devices, then forget government. Forget any form of any rule keeping whatsoever, and let's just go old school Wild West. Because that's what you're going to get. I mean, you've already said in your country where you've had people, army vets, had to defend themselves from thieves. So at that point, I mean, we're not too far from that. You already have California, drugged out of its mind in some areas. What more do you want? Big Black says, change is for the better. It's good, but change for the sake of change can have unattended negative consequences. Change for any change is better than no change. But then again, change is always happening. So what is the true change? I know that sounds a little paradoxical, but let me put it in this way. In life, things are always changing to a form of degree or another, right? The Earth is not in the same spot as it was yesterday. The moon is not sort of in the same spot as well. The car you drive, probably not parked in the exact same spot you parked it yesterday, right? You're not in the same position or whatever. There's a ton of things where we could say everything's not in the same area. Point of the matter being is that change is always happening, whether or not you agree with it. I don't know what to tell you beyond that point. Change is change. The only constant, and this is the paradoxical part, right? This is the paradoxical part. Change is always constant. And that's the funny thing, because constant is just one thing going that way, and change is like a bunch of fireworks going in all directions. That's always constant.
No, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse.
Yeah. No, I get that. Some change is not better than no change. Folly of the young to think all change is positive. I didn't say all change, though. I didn't say all change. I didn't say all change is positive either. I said change is happening no matter what, good or bad, whether you agree with it or not. It will happen. Change has happened since the beginning of our here. Change will always happen after your death and you're gone. change is constant. It is always happening. Life is going to continue on regardless of what you think. The point of the matter is what change do you want for yourself? And since you live in this country, what change are you going to work towards to make it happen? Because I'm here to tell you right now, we are. Oh, hey, Alpha Omega, Alpha Zero.
Hey, Alpha, how's it going, man?
Looking forward to Saturday, good sir. Actually, funny enough, I'm making shorts of our first stream together, so hopefully I'll be able to put those out soon. Because he's a really cool dude, very very knowledgeable guy, technology wise. He'd be you've probably seen some of his streams talking about Bash and stuff, right? So he's a good guy to listen about. But yeah, I'm not saying all change is good, all change is bad, but at the end of the day, all change is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get a say in if it's going to happen or not. What's that was saying? At work right now, so can't really listen in, but wanted to. Hey, thank you, sir. Have a great work day. Right now, it should be 15 hours, so it should be sometime in the afternoon for him because we're 15 hours behind him. So whatever 15 hours plus, so it's 12 hours, 7 a.m. So it's about 10 or 11 a.m. where he's at, I think. But yeah, it's 50. When I had him on, I had to calculate. Okay, so 15 hours ahead. Kind of, how do I get him on? It's like, it's insane. But luckily, we're doing Dara's hangout on the weekend, so that should help. But yeah, I don't disagree. Not all change is good, but not all change is bad. But change is going to happen regardless, whether you like it or not. Oh no! Have a great anniversary supper. Tell the missus hello and have a great night. Yeah, we're going to be ending shortly anyway, so thank you for being here, everyone.
Have a good day.
Yeah. So anyway, it is the top of the hour again, and I think we're going to end it there, and we'll promote ourselves again. Obviously, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I do leave the floor to you. And then after that, we'll do the one thing, and then we'll go from there. So,
well, first of all, thanks for having me here.
Of course.
It was a great experience. And as you say so, well, they can find me on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
If they want, they can click my profile, follow me from there. And obviously, they need to be warned. On Twitter, I'm a total chaos. Memes, drawings, politics, video games.
That's what this show is basically about, is talking about whatever. I mean, we started with AI and ended up at talking about cultural relations with Mexico. So that's how this show works. Basically anything. I know some people get kind of anxiety ridden or whatever, but I'm like, the show's on me. I gotta carry it. You just sit here and look pretty. Just smile, whatever you want. Don't know if it works all the time.
Than that, that's it basically. I don't have a lot of stuff to plug right now.
Yeah, and again, his link to his Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, is down below. So give him a look, give him a follow, whatever. And as you say, he's a multivariate guy who does a lot of different things. So keep an eye on him. But anyway, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Rumble, it doesn't matter. If you wouldn't mind, wherever you are, leaving a like, sharing the stream or sharing a short, whatever it is, leaving a comment or leaving a follow. Doesn't matter which one of it or all of it. It doesn't matter. Anything that helps with the engagement is much appreciated because, guys, in order for me to have more people on, I have to be seen more. All right, the whole calendar that I showed you for this month, right? That wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't gotten to meet people like Panda Sub, Tomby, Jack Tarlard, and so many others. Because from one person to the next, there's always someone there to have a conversation, and it's been a great time tonight. So again, any help with the engagement is much appreciated. And of course, if you want to find out where I'm at, right? Just like you, which way to point? Right, just like you did for Cybermario, down in the description below is my link to my link tree. Click on it, you go to my link tree. You'll find my Rumble, my YouTube, my Twitter X, DMing my Discord, email. Doesn't matter. Those are the places you'll find me. And if you'd like to come on yourself, the invitation is open. Just go down to that link, find me at other places and ask. Or if you want to do that, just leave a comment in either YouTube or Rumble and we get started. Because again, guys, help with engagement leads help to more people having on and going through that contact channel really helps and whatever. But I still have to go out each month and I still have to ask people. I'm like, for a while, Cybermario was in here. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna go. Come on, I don't know, whatever. So luckily, I was able to get a time for you over the weekend. But there's just so many other people. There's to have 100 different people on, and to keep going shows that there's something there. Like there's energy there that's not being tapped, or there's not enough of it, because everyone has a niche of what they like to talk about, whether it be gaming, the stuff going on. And don't get me wrong, I've been invited on those shows where they talk about the current day of the thing, whether it be the Hollywood and entertainment, all that stuff. I get it. I'm appreciative of it, and I'm not going to speak any bad against it. But for me, there's a lot of opportunity missed with not having new different people on, not getting a new different perspective, not getting out your own bias, because I can make a group of people who would agree with me on some level and that be it. But I don't want that. I don't want that, because we keep running into the same problem we have that we're having now. We keep dividing ourselves. We keep blowing things up, and we don't sit down and have a conversation. We don't sit at the table and break bread, sort of ordeal, if that makes sense. And so that's what I'm trying to do with their chat. That's what I'm trying to do with theirs Hangout Den. Is trying to not only bring people on to one point, but to also, once they've come on, to have that togetherness with other content creators or non-creators, and just crossover, cross-pollinate. I know people make fun of me for that, but that's the best word I get for the understanding of what I'm trying to do. It's not an easy thing, but the problem of it is that it needs to happen. It needs to happen. It's the site Elon wishes was X, but people can't get over calling it Twitter, so I just call it Twitter X. But I have a different reason for it. But that's what I'm trying to do, this conversational piece. I know people have a tough time understanding what it's about, but I've seen many times once they come on, they get that understanding. They're like, that's easy. I know some people don't show their face. I've had a few people like that, or they have an avatar like Zatris or some others who are VTubers, which is fine. I don't care about that. What I care is, are you willing to make the leap to come on and have a conversation about whatever? Are you willing to at least trust me enough that we can find a place to go and you'll be interested in conversing? Because sometimes it is like trying to get water out of stone. So I've had those people. But no, I'm glad you was pretty large. No, truth isn't pretty. The best truth in the world is the truth that will slap you in the face and tell you you're wrong. But that's not always the case. Truth is a difficulty in which you have to make that discernment, because as we see, we can't trust news media. We can't even trust our neighbor to some degree. We just have to go through that process of learning how to tell the BS from the actual treasure, so to speak, right? Because you have to dig through garbage to, one man's trash is another man's treasure, that sort of idiom, But yes, truth isn't pretty, and neither are lies. But sometimes people like to accept a lie better, because what's that saying? If you tell a lie often enough, it often becomes the truth, and that's sort of a thing in our society as well. But anyway, part before we go tomorrow, and I showed it earlier. Before we go tomorrow at 7 p.m., as you can see, tomorrow the 10th at 7 p.m., Kara Frost will be on. She's a VTuber. She's a V-Rumbler by chance. And so she'll be on at 7 p.m. tomorrow. I'm grateful to have her on. And what is it? He knows what the Gestapo is. I'm pretty sure he knows what it is, but you could at least be a little nicer now you ask, Senor. But that's up to you if you want to answer that, Mario.
The Gestapo, was not that from Russia?
I thought that was the Nazis.
That was the KGB, right?
KGB.
KGB was from Russia.
Yeah, KGB.
The Gestapo rings a bell, but I really don't remember.
Yeah, well, the Gestapo is KGB, the Nazism, all that stuff. It was just a time. Yeah, it was just that in that space. But yeah, I can imagine the KGB did it as well. But yes, 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I'll make sure that's up there. German, yeah, German, Nazis, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I don't doubt that the KGB wasn't doing their own form of it too. But anyway, so at the end of the show, I usually have a little questionnaire thing. I bought a Rumble hat, and there's a bunch of questions in here. So what happens is that guests get asked 2 questions, and they're random, and if people in chat, unfortunately not the YouTube side, but the Rumble side, want more questions asked, they'll have to pay for it. They'll have to give a rant, whether it be $1 or whatever. So usually you get 2, but since Lord of the Ree gave $2, we'll add that, so you'll have 3. So I'm going to pick one question right now. I'm going to see what it says. I'm not looking in the hat, so you can't. Oh, there we go. Never mind. It just accidentally fell out. So we got this. That's a question right there. What does it say? Okay, here's one. Now I don't know if you have this, but what's your favorite season and why?
Autumn.
Autumn?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because all the fucking ancestors go back to hell.
Get back to hell! Where's the priest at? Where's the holy water?
It's not warm. It's not cold. It's perfect.
Oh yeah, right now it's like 75 degrees where I'm at, and not humidity is the worst though. You add humidity to heat, dear Lord, you might as well be, slime on the ground, just like, ugh, it's awful. All right, next one. All right, what shall we pick out next? All right, here's the blue one. That's question number 2. What is the question? All right. Oh, here we go. What's your go-to comfort food or food you really like to eat?
I'd say pizza.
Really?
Yeah.
What toppings?
Pepperoni, mushrooms, ham, sometimes pineapple.
Ooh.
I knew that was going to be.
For some people, that's fighting words, but no, I can't really do it much anymore. But when I would get pizza, I'd get like barbecue sauce as the sauce, and then I do pineapple and bacon.
Sometimes I add a bit of ranch.
Really? Like bacon? Oh wow.
Yeah, they also give you the bowl with the ranch in the box.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, for the breadstick and stuff. Yeah, you can get that too. But I only eaten like chicken bacon ranch, the pizza, a few times in my life, and it's a bit too much. It can be a bit.
Yeah, for me it's like if I'm watching a movie, maybe one time a month.
Yeah.
I get my pizza. A drink. Sometimes lemon dew.
Lemon dew.
Lemon dew.
Lemon dew. Yeah,
it's from Japan. It's from Japan. It has whiskey.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I only take one. I never been drunk. I only take one. My pizza, my lemon dew, a good movie, and that's it. To enjoy the weekend.
Yeah. Well, and that's good because not a lot of people are responsible with their drinking. So I want a cookie Dara, please. I don't have any cookies, so I don't know what you're asking for. I don't have anything for you. My hands are empty except for this hat. So that's about as much as you can get from me. All right, last question unless someone wants to give another rant. Let's see. What's a really good? Oh, here we go. Got a purple one right there. All right, let's see what it says. Last one. Unless someone gives another rant. Oh, here we go. I don't know what the equation for you is, but you just got $1 million tax-free. What's the first thing you do?
Try to stay away from eBay.
You bought an island like Mr. Beast did that one time. Just bought your island in like the ocean. Or farmland, whichever you want to.
I would buy a new sound system.
Really?
A giant TV. Nice. A lot of 4K Blu-rays. I love movies.
Oh, I see it. I
basically will do something like that. Probably make a home theater in my house.
Nice, like a man cave type of entertainment area.
Yeah.
Boy, man.
And buying a popcorn machine in the back and stuff like that.
I get the room over here. I get the lights over here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't touch that. That'll blow up in your face. Oh, that's just wrong. Come on, distracted. Come on. Pizza with Vegemite. Oh my god.
No, thanks.
No, that just sounds like you want to throw up afterwards. That sounds like pizza you eat, but you eat it to throw it up later.
Yeah.
I think that's what those models eat. Like they don't like Vegemite and they just make pizza with it and they just eat it. And they're like, bleh! Or what's that thing that makes you throw up? Ithaca. You know, I just put a little Ithaca on it and just bleh!
Oh, I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I remember that.
Dumb. It's not dumb. I mean, $1 million is $1 million. What you hypothetically spend it on doesn't matter. I mean, even if you got $1 million, you might not even do exactly what you said. You could be doing something completely different. I mean, you you may put it into a fund to try to get to America, whatever. There's a ton of things you would do once you get the money. Just don't let the cartels know you have it. Then they'll take it from you. They're like, he has some money? Oh, you better watch out. But anyway, guys, that is the show. I thank you, Cybermario, for coming on. I know you're probably a busy dude doing all your work, but I do appreciate it. And I'm glad I got to meet you through Panda Sub. He's a really great guy. He works himself to death, almost to death anyway.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate it. And again, you're like everyone else. Oh, there he is. K Project Kaiju.
Hey, Caillou. How's it going, man?
Dude, I told you what time it was. Goodness sake. The only person you can blame is yourself. But anyway, no, I do thank you all for coming. I do appreciate you all. And again, guys, Tesla would be sad. I don't know why Tesla would be sad, though. Oh, the company or the person? Because Tesla's dead. But if you're talking about the company...
Why will we be sad? Because I won't buy a Tesla with my $1 million?
I wouldn't own a Tesla. Are you kidding me? Hey, Instakil, how are you doing, sir? Good evening, y'all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. How about pizza with liverwurst? I don't know what liverwurst is, but it doesn't sound good. I don't know. Commit. No, don't do that. Don't do that, Kaiju.
Don't worry, he has 9 lives.
That's true. He's either a white cat or a black cat. He just can't make up his mind.
And sometimes he transforms in a magic and anime girl.
Hey! With Big Booba. Oh, he's probably never going to come out again. But anyway, yes, you are always welcome back, obviously, because
Thank you.
it's not a one-timer.
I would love to be here another time.
Oh, yeah. It's not a one-timer deal. Because, again, there's always more to talk about. It's the funniest thing in the world. There's always more to talk about. Even the silliest of stuff. Right? Even as the silly stuff, it doesn't matter. It's we get to sit down and have a conversation. Don't expose me. Hey, you expose yourself. I'm just glad you keep your shirt on when you do it. But anyway, and I appreciate you being here. Of course, again, like I said, 7 p.m. tomorrow. Anyway, guys, see you all tomorrow. And of course, as always, as we end out with One Day With You by Pogo. Have a great night, guys, and see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern with Kara. Don't miss it. Don't forget it. I'll be putting those links up soon. See you later, guys. Bye.